Yo, what's good, chat? What's good, chat? What's good, chat? Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second, y'all. But yeah, we are gonna be looking at some Comic Blast Keenan today, and on top of that, to mention, we will be talking about Marvel Spider-Man 2 and see how they implement everything and stuff like that. Because I really do want to see everything in there. So we're gonna be reacting to the wish list and everything like that. But give me 1 second and we'll go over it in a second, okay? Alright, so yeah, sorry about the chat. So we're gonna be reacting to a whole lot of Marvel Spider-Man 2 stuff. So if anybody's interested in Spider-Man 2 stuff, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button over here on the channel. We are live right now, and on top of that, don't forget to check out. I posted a video a day ago. It is the Batman Arkham Origins video. It's the Batman Arkham Origins video. This one right here. Everybody go check this one out. Everybody go check this one out. It was crazy. But let's go ahead and get back to it. We were looking at Comic Blast Keenan's videos, and then after that we're going to be, probably looking at some of News to Astonish. So yeah, we're going to see what happens. Let's see. Those are features we don't need. We're going to check this one out.
Hey guys, CBK here bringing you another Marvel Spider-Man 2 video. And
Okay.
I finally got a PS5. That's right. It was a little bit of an early birthday present, but I'm so excited to finally get to play Spider-Man Remastered. My plan is to host some live streams where we can talk Marvel Spider-Man 2 theories and more, so keep an eye out for an announcement for that. But today I want to talk about things that I don't want to see in Marvel Spider-Man 2. The majority of the
1440.
things on this list are features that were in Spider-Man PS4.
Okay.
And just some things that I don't really care to see return in the sequel.
Right.
I would say that while I find Spider-Man PS4 to be a masterpiece, there are definitely some features that hold the game back a little bit. So with that being said, let's get into the features I don't want to see in Marvel Spider-Man 2. So the first thing that I don't really care to see in this game is non-superhero related missions. I always find the non-superhero related missions to be the least replayable whenever I revisit Spider-Man PS4. The first MJ mission that introduced the demons in the art gallery was fine. I didn't mind
that one was so interesting.
Establish MJ within the universe, but all of the other ones really
that was interesting. And on top of that, to mention, according to this game, I don't know if you guys have heard this or not, but according to Marvel Spider-Man 2, MJ is on her way back from Symkaria. So we will potentially be getting only 3 MJ missions. The rest will probably be 0, or we'll probably not get any MJ missions.
Destroyed the pace. First of all, I think that those missions are pretty easy to do, but they're just very time consuming. Deep down, we all just want to go back to playing as Spider-Man while dealing with these missions. And the same could be said for the Miles Morales missions in the first game. The one that I really liked was the one where Miles had to retrieve antibiotics and sneak around Rhino.
Oh, that one was so beautiful.
Establish that history with Rhino between Miles. But in my opinion, if Insomniac wanted to give us that more human experience within missions, I think it'd be better served as Peter Parker missions to change up the pace. He's the character that I care about the most and the one that I want to spend the most time with. So if they want to get us out of the suit, that's completely fine, but have those missions be centered around Peter Parker. Alright, the next thing that I definitely don't care to see in Marvel Spider-Man 2 is the return of Rhino. Now, it looks like he could be done after the Miles Morales game.
Now, that one was... Whenever I tell you there are so many fights with Rhino, it didn't make sense to me, but I can see why. I don't know if you guys saw, but when the Sister Six was forming, I don't know, I think it was someone in the chat whenever I was streaming, but we were memeing Rhino, explain, Rhino doesn't bring anything to the Sinister Six. Of course, he's an OG member, but it's just okay, you have a horn, so attack. It's one of those, like. Don't get me wrong. I like Rhino a lot, but I like the ultimate version of Rhino. That Rhino was just cool. That Rhino is just way better. That Rhino is hands down way better than. Yeah, wait. Any news about the game, like release date? They said it was supposed to come out 2023, so I think they're gonna stick with the original release dates for the same game as they did Marvel Spider-Man 1. Oh, what's up, President? Whoa, what's up, gamer? What's up?
But you just never know.
I don't know you're in here. My bad.
In comic book movies and comic book games, anything is possible. I have honestly had my fill of Rhino in this universe, though. We had multiple missions where we dealt with him in Spider-Man PS4, and then in Spider-Man...
By the way, if you guys are wondering, I'm looking at chat on my phone right now, so...
...villain aside from the Tinkerer. And man, they really tried to stretch out Rhino in that game and use him as much as possible.
Yeah.
To the point where they were giving him new armor to try and add variety to the...
And we saw how horrible that ended.
I'm certain that I don't care to see this character again anytime soon.
Yeah, I'd rather see Morbius or something like that.
I think it's time
we're gonna have to get into so many DLCs for this game, too.
Like Mysterio and Sandman, perhaps. I need to see something new from the...
Yes, I would love to see a fight with Mysterio. I would love to see that. Because they could go into, how, Spider-Man hasn't fought him yet. It's already been confirmed that he has probably fought him. But seeing him fight Quentin Beck, aka Mysterio, would be good. Like, I would love to see that fight. Like, imagine the reaction. Oh my gosh. Imagine wearing the Far From Home suit. Just imagine how good it's gonna look. Oh my gosh, they have to do Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio and Tom's Spider-Man Far From Home. They have to do that. They have to. The Far From Home suit's automatic.
Villains in this game. Okay, so the next thing on my list that I don't want to have to do is unlock the map. Now, I know that they didn't make us do this in Spider-Man Miles Morales, but I am concerned that we will have to do something to unlock the maps, especially if they expand it to Brooklyn and Queens. I really hated fixing all the towers around Manhattan.
Oh, especially the memories there too?
To do it in New Game Plus.
Wait, hold up. Now I'm thinking about it, they could end up... Because the thing is, with this map and with part of the PS5, they would have to give us Brooklyn and Queens. Because the thing is, at the end of Marvel Spider-Man 1, I think in the... Well, not the end of... Wait. Wrong game. In Miles Morales, I believe Peter said that he was moving into Aunt May's house. He was moving into Aunt May's place. So we would probably start off the game somewhere around there, is what I'm guessing. Or probably like mid-game or something like that. Because we don't get a chance to, see Peter's house or apartment or anything like that. So I can see that.
The first time was fine. It was a little annoying, but it's...
But, Gamer, to answer your question, there is news about the game. The Miles Morales voice actor is teasing it a little bit.
So the next one
but we don't have a release date for it.
For me. In my opinion, I feel like Spider-Man PS4 was a little bit too easy, especially on the ultimate difficulty.
Oh, 100%.
I feel like once you get a grasp on the combat and mechanics, the game is incredibly easy. So I don't want this game to be easy again. Spider-Man PS4 got even easier once you unlocked all the gadgets and you had all these suit powers to choose from.
Right.
If you're struggling at any point, you could just start electric webbing everybody or use the overpowered Spider-Bro drone. There was just so many
That was
options,
too broken.
and I'm not saying that you should have less options, but the difficulty of the AI needs to be increased for the next game.
Yeah.
I even felt like the boss fights were pretty easy. Once you figured out what the game wanted you to do to defeat them, it became easy. It was the same repetitive steps in order to defeat them. I really want a challenge when it comes to playing on ultimate difficulty for Spider-Man 2. Okay, so the next thing that
now for Miles Morales, they did up it though, but I couldn't tell.
Repetitive crimes.
Yes.
To the point where I don't even really bother with the crimes anymore. As bad as it sounds, I kind of just swing on past them. When I played Spider-Man PS4 the first time, I enjoyed it.
Make sure you guys like the stream.
It didn't take me long to realize that the crimes were getting really repetitive and lacked variety.
Yeah.
Especially with the carjackings. It was the same
that was annoying.
over and over with the same 3 animations. How about we have some bank or convenience store robberies?
Ooh, that brings me to my next one too. I was gonna say, what if we get extra Black Cat DLC? Like from the one from the Amazing Spider-Man video game, where we get her story, or like we get something like that has to do with well, we already have the one museum because we played that in the Heist DLC. But like, what if we get a DLC where Black Cat's back in town, and she's robbing the bank? She's working, with everybody else that's probably took over that power vacuum that Hammerhead left.
Sneak into the bank and rescue some hostages and stealth, and then take out the robbers. Or perhaps you chase down a purse snatcher.
I would love to see that in this game because it's just so good in the Amazing Spider-Man 1 video game. So
now we're at the last thing on my list.
Yeah.
You could guess it, and that is Screwball. Oh man, what a disaster.
No more of those missions.
Not only did I not...
No more of those missions. They were annoying.
The character was just downright annoying.
Thank you. Thank you. Comic Blast Keenan. Everybody go... After hearing that, everybody go to Comic Blast... everybody go to Keenan's channel and subscribe after he just said that. Oh my gosh, he's a genius.
It's the one time that all Spidey fans are in agreement. Alright,
yes.
So that's it for the things that I don't want to see in Marvel Spider-Man 2. I'm sure I missed out on some good ones, so let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions. But be sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel and need some more Marvel Spider-Man 2 content in your life. It's pretty much the only thing I cover on my channel, and I just want to get us all hyped for the game.
Right.
That's it for me, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.
Yeah. Oh, some side missions. We could check out... I'm going to check this out right now, actually, because I already knew... I'm gonna check it out.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Comic Blast Keenan here, or you can call me CBK, but I'm your #1 Spider-Man PS5 fan, bringing you another Marvel Spider-Man 2 video. If you're new here, definitely check out all of my other Marvel Spider-Man 2 videos. It's all I talk about on
I would love to see some side missions where it's,
Spider-Man 2 hype. But today I want to talk about some side missions and side characters I would like to see in the next game.
Yeah.
Some of these are very realistic options, and some of them are very unlikely to happen. But it's my wish list, so let's just have some fun with it. With that being said, let's swing on into the video. So I just want to start off by saying I would love for this game to start off with a dope mission against a character that will likely have nothing to do with the story in this game.
Right.
Similar to
like how,
Fist was
yeah, I'll just say like how Kingpin was.
Mission, but was never in the game again. Well, at least not physically.
Yeah.
His presence was still very much felt in the game, though. But in this opening mission, I would love to see a villain that has nothing to do with the story we are getting. Just something to get us hyped and acclimated to the new gameplay. Some of the villains that I think would be great options for an opening mission would be either Mysterio or Sandman. Mysterio is just one of my favorite Spider-Man villains of all time, so I had to throw him in there. And then there's Sandman. I think Sandman is just a great side character, great side villain to start with. But the main reason I selected these villains is because I think both of them would do a great job of showcasing the PS5's visual performance.
Right.
Mysterio would make for some really trippy visuals, and Sandman would just look amazing on the PS5. Imagine the rendering of all those grains of sand.
Oh my god.
I think that either one of these villains would make for a great opening mission, just to get us hyped for the game, get used to the new controls, and get us immersed in the experience.
Right.
So the second item on my wish list is going to be a little bit unrealistic, but I'm holding on to hope that this could potentially happen one day.
Okay.
I would love to see a side mission where Daredevil and Spider-Man come.
Yes!
At some point in this universe, they're going to have to show us one of these major Marvel characters.
Yes!
As opposed to always having Easter eggs and just references of them. Imagine Daredevil coming to you for help with some shady Fisk dealings. Perhaps he wants to close down the last of his operation and wants Spider-Man to help. Like I said, I realize that this is unlikely, but man, a boy can dream. Up next on my list, I want to continue to build upon what I thought was one of the better side missions in the first game, and that would mean the return of Tombstone. The Tombstone stuff was just an awesome addition to the side missions in Spider-Man PS4. Most of the missions...
Ooh, I'm gonna be honest, I did not like the Tombstone missions. I don't know why, I just didn't like it, but what if he, and I'm just trying to say this, what if he somehow gets, I'm just gonna say this, I would love to see another Tombstone side mission where people call him L. Thompson Lincoln, aka Tombstone. Because that would be good. Oh my god, imagine with the black suit too. Imagine with the black suit, right? If you guys have not seen Spectacular Spider-Man, imagine the amount of money that he could have gotten from wearing that black suit. And if you guys have not seen the Black Suit Saga for Spectacular Spider-Man, you guys know what scene I'm talking about. It's the scene, and massive spoilers because I haven't seen it. It goes like this. Okay, so you have Spider-Man. Okay, so you have him. Okay, so you have Spider-Man with the black suit coming in, talking to Tombstone, right? And basically, with the black suit on, Spider-Man wants a way to get money. He wants a way to get money because, you know, his if you guys haven't seen that episode, his aunt is in the hospital because of, I can't remember what it was. But it's been a long time since I've seen that episode, but I can't remember what it was. But there was somewhere and some way down the line where Peter had to get some money, right? And he went straight to Tombstone to work for Tombstone. And Tombstone made him a deal that said, don't fight crime for 1 week. After he took that deal on it. With the black suit, if that scene happens, the friendship and the relationship that he's gonna make with Tombstone is going to be crazy.
In Spider-Man PS4, most of the missions were kind of meh. There were some decent ones. The Taskmaster stuff was pretty okay, but the Tombstone mission stood out the most to me. And it actually featured a pretty difficult boss battle, which is something that was missing from the side missions.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I'd love for Insomniac to just build upon what they started in the first game and give us some more Tombstone. Alright, so next up on my list is a side mission featuring Morbius the Living Vampire.
Yes!
If you watched my DLC wishlist video for Spider-Man 2, then you would know that I really want a DLC centered around Morbius. There was kind of a soft introduction to the character when Morgan Michaels, the alias name of Michael Morbius...
I didn't know that until I started looking at Morbius, and after I started looking, I was like, wait.
...of Devil's Breath. It's
right.
quite possible that during Morgan Michaels' experiments, he had some sort of accident that turned him into this living vampire. I would love for Pete to do some investigative work around the city where he's trying to figure out...
And on top of that, not to mention, to go along with that, Marvel Spider-Man 2 is set to be like a dark story. Because keep in mind, this is Peter's story, the black suit's in there. So I already know there's going to be a dark story. So it would be great to have Morbius in the game. It would be great.
...is going around sucking the blood of people. From there, I would love for these side missions to help set up a larger DLC for Morbius. I'm really passionate about this one, guys, so give me your honest...
Because the thing is, the stories are going to be darker, so it makes sense. It's already a dark story. Might as well go ahead and go all out. Add Morbius.
Right, lastly on my list of side missions and characters that I want to see in Marvel Spider-Man 2, we have the continuation of Yuri's story. Listen, the city that never
yes!
DLC was...
Yes! Yes, 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 yes. I would love to see this. I would love to see Yuri and Spider-Man fight. If you guys haven't seen it, Yuri became Wraith at the end of... I think it was the Hammerhead DLC. Turf Wars. It was the DLC for Turf Wars. There's a side mission that you did. It's called Murder Mystery or whatever. You're putting all those together, and Yuri comes over and talks to you. And according to that, she liked this. Oh my god, the boss battle is gonna be crazy.
Not perfect, but I do love what they did for Yuri's character. It
yes.
looks as if they're gonna go ahead and try to set up the Wraith storyline. If you're unfamiliar, in the comics, Yuri becomes the anti-hero known as Wraith.
Right.
After she becomes frustrated with the justice system. She wants to believe in the system, but she loses her faith in it after she sees guys like Hammerhead get away with his crimes. Then she decides that killing is the best solution for making sure that these criminals cannot continue to harm people. This obviously conflicts with Spider-Man's ideology. Spider-Man and Yuri had a really cool relationship in the game.
God
I feel
dang,
like
my
side
hands
missions
for me.
involving
Shit.
Yuri or Wraith would be a great way to continue building on the story that they started in the first game. So that's my list of side missions and side characters I would like to see in Marvel Spider-Man 2. If you didn't already, I reply to all of my comments, so if you want to leave your thoughts down below, we can get a conversation going. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and check out some of my other Marvel Spider-Man 2 videos. But that's it for me, and until next time.
I would love to see a side mission with those. I would love to see that. I would love to see that so much. Alright, let's go ahead and check out Comic Book Leskin. I love watching his videos, bro. Returning Villains. We're gonna watch Returning Villains, and we're also gonna watch The Leak. So
What's up guys, CBK here bringing you another Marvel Spider-Man 2 video, and if you don't know already, it's pretty much the only thing I talk about on my channel, so if that sounds good to you, then be sure to subscribe. In today's video, we're going to be talking about villains I would like to see return in the sequel to Spider-Man PS4, and some of them are villains we know are already established within the universe that Insomniac has made.
Right.
They may already have a history with Spider-Man, but perhaps we haven't gotten to see them just yet. So with that being said, let's go ahead and swing on into the video. Okay, so the first villain up on my list is a returning character from Spider-Man PS4, and one that was heavily involved in the City That Never Sleeps DLC. That character being Wraith. I must admit, I didn't know much about the character Wraith until I did some research after playing Spider-Man PS4.
Right.
I don't know.
It was confusing for me too.
Becomes the anti-hero known as Wraith after she loses her faith in the law. She believes that the only way to keep criminals from returning to crime is to completely take them out by killing them. This ideology obviously is the opposite of Spider-Man's and creates a conflict between the two characters. In the City That Never Sleeps DLC, Yuri really takes a dark turn after one of her officers dies, and she actually tries to kill Hammerhead as opposed to attempting to lock him up. I believe that there is no doubt that Insomniac set up this storyline with the purpose of using it in the sequel. It's possible she isn't necessarily a villain in this game, but is just an anti-hero, but regardless, I could still see her and Peter butting heads in this game. I'd love to see her return. Okay, the next villain up on my wish list isn't a villain that we've seen yet, but has a history with Peter Parker within this universe, and it's none other than Mysterio. Listen, there's absolutely
I would love to see that.
From a story perspective, I have absolutely no idea how he could fit into a story like this, but he's my favorite Spider-Man villain, and I selfishly just want to see him in the game. Maybe they could squeeze him in as a role similar to the one that they gave Shocker in the first game. Shocker had a very, very tiny role in the first game.
Oh my god, we were just talking about Mysterio coming in.
Boss battle. If we can get something like that with Mysterio in this game, I'll be happy. Or perhaps Mysterio could be the opening mission or boss battle for this game, just to get us started. I'm really hopeful that some of the leaks regarding Mysterio's appearance in this game are true. Okay, so next up on my wish list we have Dr. Otto Octavia. Hear me out though. I
would love to see him return, because he's the only one that knows Peter's identity. I would love to see these two talk again. I would love to see these two talk again just because of the fact that it makes sense, because he's the only one that knows Peter's identity. So with this one, I just have a feeling. Okay, so pretty much everybody that he has, everybody that he's locked up, everyone that Spidey has pretty much put in prison, well, possibly since Doc Ock is the only one that knows his identity, there is a chance that he could end up telling everybody in that prison Peter Parker is Spider-Man or something like that. Or we could see a future DLC where we get the where they swap minds and stuff like that. I would love to see that, because what if Doc Ock is dying or whatever, right? And he needs Peter's body to survive or something like that, and they swap brains, and that's how we get the Superior Spider-Man DLC. That would be so great. We could possibly end up getting that DLC, and it would be so great. It would just be amazing.
Him to return in this game with his tentacles as he breaks out of prison. I envision a much smaller appearance, but with a large impact. I made a video on my channel called Doc Ock's Return that you should totally check out if you hadn't had a chance to already. But essentially I wanted an encounter or conversation between Peter and Otto in this game. My hope is that Peter goes to make a visit to Otto on the raft during this game. During this visit, I would imagine a cutscene filled with a lot of tension.
Same.
Otto does know Peter's secret. He could easily expose his identity.
Right.
I would imagine a conversation where Peter's trying to figure out where Otto's head is at nowadays. Is he still that villainous guy that we last saw him at? Or maybe he's just returned to his normal state?
Or my guess is that he could, since I'm gonna follow this up, since Keenan said this, I was going to say, what if Doc Ock is now in a good mind state for the amount of time that he's been locked up at the raft, right? Keep going with me. If he's locked up at the raft for that long, because there's a time span between this game and the first game, right? What if some point down the line we could have a, Doc Ock's out of jail or something like that, and he wants to help Spider-Man, right? He wants to create spider drones that can scour the city whenever. That would be, imagine the amount of crime that would be solved.
Mind, since he's had the technology that was controlling him removed. I could see Peter and Otto kind of getting into it a little bit. Maybe Otto goes on to tell Peter how he is in this situation. His selfish desires led him to be where he is.
If you guys are watching this stream right now, or if you guys are new, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button.
Put himself in this situation. His selfish desires led him to be where he is.
Right.
His actions inevitably led to the death of many, including his Aunt May. And this is where things could get a little bit more emotional, with Peter telling him how much he meant to him and how much he looked up to him. After they had their little moment, Peter would go on to tell Otto that he needs his help. He needs his help perfecting and finishing what they started with creating the functional robotic limbs. Peter could go on to explain his situation and what he's up against, fighting against Venom, of course.
Yep.
There, they worked together by discussing ideas to create the Iron Spider-like arms that we saw in the first trailer. It's definitely an
Oh my god, that's so good too.
If Otto were to return, it'd be in a small role like this one. So the next villain up on my wish list is again a returning villain in this universe,
right?
One that we have seen personally, and that villain is the Lizard. Dr. Connors was actually teased in the post-credit scene for Spider-Man Miles.
Yeah!
Look around to see that. The Lizard had multiple Easter eggs in the first game, and we already know that he exists within this universe. I'm dying to fight against him. I think that without a doubt the best.
Ooh, and the boss fights with this would be so good. Imagine a fight with him in the sewer. And imagine the fight with him in the sewer or at the Bronx Zoo. Like, especially that reptile part over at the Bronx Zoo. That fight, if you guys have seen Spectacular Spider-Man, you know what I'm talking about. That's another thing I was going to get into. What if the Lizard and Spider-Man, obviously they're going to have to fight, but what if the boss fight is at the Bronx Zoo or in the sewer? Because at the Bronx Zoo, they have, I was going to say, I don't know, and this is going to sound weird. No, I have not been to New York. But, I'm just, I'm a Spider-Man fanboy, so, for those who are, no, I'm not. But, I'm just saying, what if we have a fight with Lizard in the Bronx Zoo around that water and stuff, right? Or in the sewer. That would be a perfect setting for a boss fight with the Lizard. Oh my gosh.
Storyline for Lizard in this game is for him to try to turn everyone in New York to lizards.
Oh, especially if they do the Ganali device. If they do the Ganali device, which I don't think they're gonna do, they will probably end up doing the they could do Ganali device. Now I'm thinking about it. Climbing up to Oscorp doing the Ganali device. Oh.
But I don't want Lizard to be a major part of this story.
Yeah.
It would just be cool to have a run-in with him at some point during the game.
Yeah.
Maybe Spider-Man is doing some sort of investigative work at Norman's lab and he runs into Dr. Connors there. That could lead into a pretty cool boss battle. I don't know. I'm just spitballing ideas, but let me know what you guys think about that one. So next up we have a character that was in the first game and I believe was set up to become a future villain. And that would be none other than Morbius the Living Vampire. I'm sure all of the hardcore Spider-Man fans know this already, but for those who don't, Morgan Michaels is the alias name of Michael Morbius.
That's what made me a little bit confused. So like Morgan Michaels.
Two files in
I was like,
Osborn's apartment.
Is it Morbius?
Has been the Osborn family doctor for decades.
Because the thing is, I didn't know at first. That's what got me caught on.
Experimental treatments for Emily Osborn in 1997. So just to throw a theory out there, what if Michaels or Morbius became infected or transformed into this living vampire by working on these dangerous cures? It's just a theory that I thought I'd throw out there. But regardless of how it's done, I think Morbius is the perfect character to base a DLC story off of. It would actually be pretty cool if the story almost had like a detective feel. Have Spider-Man trying to solve this mystery of what creature is going around and sucking the blood of people. He could go around trying to pick up and put together clues for this mystery until he actually meets Morbius. I'm a really big fan of Morbius, and it'd be so cool to see a good adaptation of the character within this universe. So that's going to do it for my list of villains I would like to see return in Marvel Spider-Man 2. I'd love to know your thoughts on what villains you would like to see.
I would love to see Morbius come into play because, like, the story was already, like I said, the story was already meant to be dark, and that would be an amazing story. Like, imagine you just end up just chilling somewhere, right, and you just see Morbius come out of nowhere. Let's see what else there is. We're gonna go back to Comic Blast Keenan's channel. We got leaks. Or we are returning suits. I want to see if there is a chance that we could end up running into... I don't want to say we could run into him, but that would be weird. Let's look at leaks and rumors.
Yeah, CBK here, bringing you another Marvel Spider-Man 2 video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 leaks and rumors for Marvel Spider-Man 2 that I hope are true. If you're new to my channel, I have a whole series where I go over every single leak and rumor for Marvel Spider-Man 2, and today I'm going to be going over which ones I hope to actually see in the game. Keep in mind that all of these should be taken with a grain of salt. Some rumors are actually reported, and some of them come from supposed Insomniac employees on Reddit, so be careful not to buy into these too much because, like I said, they are just rumors. But go ahead and hit that subscribe button to join in on the hype for Marvel Spider-Man 2. It's the only thing I talk about on my channel, but with that being said, let's go.
Actually, hold on a second. I'm gonna do this live. Noink. Zoink.
Swing on into the video. Alright, so the first rumor up is that the web swinging in Marvel Spider-Man 2 will be about 1.8 times faster than it was in Spider-Man PS4. I'm not really sure how they came up with a number so specific, but it's supposedly due to the PlayStation's SSD technology, allowing Insomniac games to render the levels and environment quicker. If this rumor is true, then I'm all for it. I'm a big supporter of taking full advantage of the PS5's technology.
Right.
I've never really had a big problem with the web swinging speed in Spider-Man PS4. In fact, I was pretty impressed with it. I personally do not have a PS5 yet, so I have only experienced the game on my PS4 Slim. I can't imagine what it would be like to play this game in 60 frames per second with ray tracing and having the web swinging be almost twice as fast as the first game. It sounds amazing, and I sure do hope that this leak is real. Okay, so the next rumor up that I hope is true is that J. Jonah Jameson will have a more physical presence in this game. This rumor says that Peter will be returning to his job at the Daily
My boy Triple J
will be out in the field as a reporter and will be away for the first act of this game.
Alright.
Then, J. Jonah Jameson is said to be returning to the Bugle in his old position after the failure of his podcast. And I just want to say that I'm a huge fan of the Just the Facts podcast. I probably missed that podcast if this rumor is true. However, I am on record saying that I want J. Jonah Jameson to have a bigger role in the sequel game. It'd be so cool to have to do more Peter-related things in the sequel, such as dealing with work-related missions. And of course, I'd love for J. Jonah Jameson to be a big part of that. This rumor is a little bit hard to believe though, considering that it felt like Insomniac Games was teasing the idea of Peter becoming a teacher in the Miles Morales game. He kind of mentioned that his...
Now that would be weird. He's probably gonna be going... Now that rumor right there, I was just about to say that, but well, I wasn't, but actually with that would be a little bit weird because he would be working at ESU. Or they could introduce Horizon or Brooklyn Visions. I could possibly see Peter going to Brooklyn's Vision, but that would be weird. Because him and Miles would have to legit leave to go deal with a bad guy.
His freelancing days were over, but perhaps this story could be saved for later on down the line in this universe. Maybe in a few years, Peter can be a teacher. Alright, so the next rumor up on my list is a pretty recent quote-unquote leak that has come out that states that there will be a third playable character in Marvel Spider-Man 2, along with Peter and Miles. This leak mentions that there will be a...
Now this one I don't believe. I know that people are saying that Venom's going to be playable, but I don't think that that's true because Venom is already kind of pointed out as the main, or at least one of the main antagonists. It wouldn't make sense. Because the thing is, for Venom to actually truly be playable is through the black suit, which is going to be in the game anyways. That wouldn't make any sense, because if we're fighting Venom, why would he be playable? To me, that wouldn't make sense at all. So,
the third playable character...
My guess is that it's probably going to end up being they could introduce Gwen Stacy, or... Probably, dang, what's that girl's name? The fuck is that girl's name? I'll think of it later.
But we'll have a different playstyle to the other Spider-Man. It said that they would be allowed to kill people using smoke, projectiles, and a type of organic or artificial tentacles.
Huh? Organic labs, artificial. Hold on a minute. Hold on. What?
A type of organic or artificial tentacle.
Wait. Go back one.
And a type of.
Let's go back again.
Projectiles and kill people using smoke. The other Spider-Man. It said that they would be allowed to kill people using smoke, projectiles, and a type of organic or artificial tentacles. This is a pretty conflicting rumor because the tentacle part sounds like it would be Venom. However, the smoke and projectiles part sounds like it could be something completely different. Perhaps a character like Wraith, maybe? For me personally, I would love a few missions where we're dedicated to playing as Venom. I actually did an entire video on why Venom should be playable if you haven't checked it out already. But yeah, having Venom as a playable character is definitely something that I want to see in the sequel game.
I would love to see that happen.
It's a pretty small portion of the missions we get in Spider-Man.
It's a little bit confusing though, because I don't see Venom being playable.
Eddie Brock will have a pretty important role within this game.
Yes. My boy Eddie Brock.
Does that mean that Eddie Brock becomes Venom in this game? Well, that remains to be seen. We do know that
I would love to see an interaction between Eddie Brock and Peter. Because the thing is, if you guys don't remember, they have history. Or at least one of Eddie Brock's does have history with Peter. But there's multiple Eddie Brocks out there, so we don't know which one they're probably going to use. They're probably going to use the one... My guess, if I had to guess, they're probably going to use the one that worked... Or, no, they can't use that one. They're probably going to use the one that works over at the Daily... No, wait. Yeah, that works... That works at the Daily Globe. I don't know why my spider sense is horrible right now.
Eddie Brock does exist in this universe, and that he and Peter already have a history.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Eddie Brock, and I would love to see him have a role in this game. If the rumor is true, then it certainly adds fuel to the fire for that rumor.
That means that Brock is probably going to ESU or is probably graduated ESU by this point.
He's going to be Venom in this game, but I could see a potential setup for Eddie Brock as Venom and maybe a post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Perhaps the symbiote finds his way to Eddie later on down the line. That would definitely make him a major factor moving forward and potentially set up that solo Venom game that everybody seems to want. Okay, so the last and most important rumor on my list is that Insomniac Games will have a gameplay demo ready by the end of 2022. And I have to say that this makes a lot of sense.
Oh, we already know that we're going to be on that.
Start to reveal footage or gameplay around a year before its release. That is when marketing campaigns typically start for a new game.
You guys know that we're going to be all over that.
Surprised if they decided to show something off by the end of the year. Now we know that it won't be at E3 this year because it was canceled, but Sony could hold a large state of play or some sort of showcase later this year to show off some Spider-Man 2. My friend Stealth Gamer actually did a fantastic video breaking down when we should see some new content for Marvel Spider-Man 2, just based on Insomniac's history with new releases. Please check out that video. But yeah, I mean, this is an obvious...
Like, y'all know that we're going to be on that when it comes out.
Some sort of gameplay for Marvel Spider-Man 2, and I hope that this rumor is true. So that's going to do it for my list of rumors and leaks that I hope are true. There are a lot of crappy...
Like, you guys know that we're going to be on that when that comes out, because I really... Oh my gosh, that's going to be crazy.
But I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Leave a comment down below telling me what rumors you want to see in this game. But that's going to do it for me, guys, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.
Let's go check out some New Suit Sonic. New Suit Sonic uploaded something as well that I want to check out. Since it's everywhere and stuff like that. Yo, shout out to Prism Gamer for coming out to the live stream. I do want to check out some New Suit Astonish. I don't know if you guys saw this, but I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I was actually in I was in the chat looking at New Suit Astonish's live stream with Evan, CBK, and my boy Witty. Basically I was in chat talking about, you know, Spider-Man stuff like that. So make sure that you guys go ahead and check them out, because, like, oh my gosh, Witty, if you're watching this, bro, oh my gosh, bro, you and me need to do a me and you need to need to do a live stream together, bro. We're gonna go bouncing back and forth over a whole bunch of stuff for this game and stuff like that. It's crazy. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and look at this. My boy New Suit Astonish.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to News to Astonish, where we discuss comics, movies, games, and more, and bringing you another amazing Marvel Spider-Man 2 video. In this video, we're not going to go over anything too new, but supposedly there have been reports about Marvel Spider-Man 2 getting some new details and refinements, and we're going to go over all the details in just a sec. But before we do that, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the bell notification so you don't miss anything. I post videos regularly, and I live stream at least on Sundays from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Definitely be sure to join me there. It's a lot of fun. We play games there, mostly Spider-Man stuff, of course. And join my Discord. The invitation link to that is in the description box below, along with the links to my Twitter and Instagram. And if you want to support the channel even more, you can do so by now clicking on Super Thanks. You can leave a tip on the channel. Definitely helps the channel out. And of course, your viewership definitely supports the channel, so it's completely optional to leave a super thanks. And in case you missed it, if you're watching this video, Sadiq Kermiziyus, thank you so much for the super thanks. I really appreciate it. In case you missed it, I actually gave you a shout out on my last video, which was the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness review. And thank you guys for joining me once again. So let's go ahead and get onto the details about Marvel Spider-Man 2. Supposedly there have been some new leaks. This was posted on May 2nd at 3:58 p.m. and this comes from gamestoday.info. And remember, everything I'm about to read to you and then discuss with you, take it with a huge grain of salt, because none of this can be officially confirmed from PlayStation. This comes from a website at gamestoday.info once again. So, regarding Peter and Miles being playable, it's not going to be a situation where you can switch freely between
Ooh, that's what I was going to say. I know for a fact they are going to have to make it playable because they're both in the game. Now, I had this idea. Now, I said this in Now News. If you're watching this, I said this in your stream with Wee and Evan. But what if there's a chance that we get a chance, like, things like with the swap between them both at some point? I would love to see that, because, like, what if you're playing majority of the story as Peter, and then you beat the entire story on Peter's side, right? So, like, we're going from, like, two different perspectives. What if you pick Peter and played throughout Peter's story, right? All the way down the line and stuff like that, all the way down and stuff like that, where it's all done? But what if there's a chance that we could get poison in the game? We could get poison in the game. Like, say, like, if we are on Peter and we don't want to take the symbiote off because the power is too good, we become poison. That would make sense. That would make sense. We become poison. Insomniac could go the poison route, but I think they're not going to go the poison route because that won't make sense. But that could work.
I'm pretty sure that's pretty much a given. This is a Peter Parker story for the most part.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that other characters will be playable if the game requires it. So, for example, when swinging around the city, when you're not on a mission, you're not going to be swinging as Peter, as the game is mainly a continuation of Peter's story from the first game.
Yeah.
However, there will be certain missions where you're required to play as Miles, and if that mission requires you to swing through the city, you'll be doing so as Miles, kind of like the Mary Jane missions in the first game. Over the course of the game, there will be team-up missions where an AI controls either Peter or Miles depending on who you're playing as. The AI will help you along through the mission, like the first mission of Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, where Peter's just kind of doing his own thing while you beat up the escaped prisoners. However, in some missions, you will be playing as both. These missions require you to split up, and at points in those missions, your point of view will change from Peter to Miles or from Miles to Peter. It's kind of similar like how you saw it in Batman Arkham Knight or Batman Arkham City.
Or you could swap to Batman and Robin or whoever you were playing.
And Catwoman or Catwoman to Batman. So I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing that kind of interaction and that kind of game.
Oh, and the dual team takedowns.
There will be a separate library of suits for both of them. As of now, the game is planned to have a double what they both had in their respective games. Keep in mind that not all the suits have been chosen yet. When playing as either Peter or Miles, you will always have the option to change your suit at any time. And if you change the suits of both of the characters in the game, those suits will both appear in all cutscenes for the game, not just Peter's.
Oh my gosh, I already know what suit I'm gonna wear for Peter. You guys already know I got my favorite suit.
On the black suit at some point in the game. Venom is the main villain of the game alongside Kraven, which you all probably knew already.
Yeah.
Of course, Venom will eventually leave Peter.
Oh snap! Another thing that I want to ask. Okay, so about Kraven. Now with Kraven, I feel like this could happen. I was saying that it could happen, but what if he goes to Kurt Connors before? What if he goes to Dr. Connors or Kurt Connors, right? Before, I'm talking like way before he even. Like, way before Connors even decides to become the Lizard, right? What if Kraven goes to him to get, you know, something that can hide his senses or something, right? Like, what if he goes there to get a vial of something that could heighten his senses, right? Like, he could become, like, this ultimate hunter through, you know, all this and stuff like that. For those guys who have watched Spectacular Spider-Man, you guys know what I'm talking about. He became like a beast. He literally became a beast. So, yeah, he probably might become, like, a huge, like he might become a beast is what I'm trying to say. That would be so good, and on top of that, it would make it say, like, you beat Kraven the first time, and after he comes back the second time, stronger, faster, with heightened senses. He picks up on Peter's scent, and say, like, Peter's hanging out with Miles, right? Like, say, like, Peter's just hanging out with Miles or whatever, and they're out in public, right? Chilling in New York and stuff, like, right? Kraven already has Peter's scent. And what if Kraven, after he takes that vial to make his senses, to make all of his senses a little bit higher and heightened, what if there's a chance that Peter's hanging out at Miles' house or whatever, or his own house or whatever, and Kraven just barges through the door, and you have to fight him as Peter, no suit.
Match at some point in the game. I don't want to say who they are, though. Supposedly, there's going to be more opponents or foes for Kraven, or at least Venom in this case.
Right.
Still, honestly, I do not know how to feel about Venom being the main villain of Marvel Spider-Man 2. I just kind of feel like...
That's a fat if, though.
Kind of like how we didn't know Doc Ock was going to be the main villain in the first Marvel Spider-Man game. So, you never know. Venom can take the lethal protector route and become the anti-hero that we all know him to be from the comics.
Oh, and with Harry in control of it, too.
Kraven could be the main villain. There's a possibility for everything, guys. So,
or we could get anti-Venom.
And if I'm wrong, well, I'll take it. I'll accept that. Like, I don't really mind being wrong whatsoever. So Peter's iron spider-like mechanical spider arms will feel a lot more like you're controlling the arms rather than...
Hold on, chat. Alright, I'm back. Let's go and continue with it.
To you, unlike the iron spider arms from the first game.
Yeah.
The new mechanical arms will also be completely made by Peter. Finally, for the big reveals, the map is a lot bigger, and I hope it really is, because I definitely don't want to be stranded on Staten Island or New York City, basically, and just stay there. I want to go to other boroughs, like I want to go to Brooklyn, I want to go to Queens, and other places and explore.
Right.
PS5 hardware, there's definitely no excuse to not expand the map.
Oh, snap, I just saw something. Wait. I just saw something. What the fuck did I just see?
I want to go to Queens and other places and explore. So with the
this right here,
PS5 hardware, there's definitely...
This whole entire scene right here, chat, I don't know if you guys took or noticed it, but if you guys haven't seen No Way Home, that scene where he walks into the apartment, this is this exact scene right here.
No excuse to not expand the map, including a lot more areas from NYC. Get ready to swing in a massive open environment. You'll feel like you're in New York City, swinging up buildings as Spider-Man. Okay, quick side note I want to talk about real quick before I continue on with all of these leaks about the refinement and the details about Marvel Spider-Man 2. I think Insomniac Games PlayStation is getting ready to prepare us for a new update for Marvel Spider-Man 2. I think they're going to reveal a new official gameplay trailer to us very soon, and I think we're probably going to be getting it as early as maybe June, if not July.
We need to have it in June, at the most July. We're gonna get it. Hell yeah!
Show you of him
hell yeah!
The halls of Insomniac Games in a motion capture suit. So definitely take a look and let me know what are your thoughts about that as well.
Yeah.
Oh snap! Najee Jeter.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Alright. Alright.
Okay, I hear that music in the background. You hear that? That's that Miles Morales.
Okay.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Advertising on YouTube helps me reach engaged customers like Jenna, who's been searching for landscapers on Google.
I think they're missing something.
And on top of that, notice how he's in the motion capture suit too. That's what I was about to say. If you guys don't know who this is Najee Jeter. He is actually the actor for Miles Morales in both Marvel Spider-Man PS4 and for Miles' standalone game. He is teasing this so hard. He's in the motion capture suit, which means that he's probably there with Yuri. He was probably there with Yuri.
My spidey senses have never tingled this hard, and I can feel it, man. We're getting a trailer. This cannot be a coincidence. Something is coming. So be prepared, everybody. Now, for less exciting stuff, but well-needed upgrades from the first game, wall crawling has been improved, and I hope that's also been improved because I've definitely been missing that wall combat since Spider-Man Web of Shadows.
Same.
So when we're getting stuck on the geometry,
I would love to stay in wall fight, bro.
You also now have the option to wall crawl even faster with mechanical arms while playing as Peter.
Oh.
You can now also stand on buildings with the aid of the mechanical arms while playing as Peter. Peter now has more air trick options thanks to the mechanical arms.
Yes!
Also have new access to ground tricks, one of my favorite being web skating on the back of driving vehicles. Now that is something I didn't see coming. I would love to just attach a web line and just kind of like web ski or web skate right behind vehicles. Again, take this all with a huge grain of salt. Supposedly this person, this insider, has gotten that information. So much so that he's describing all of these things in exact detail. Like, it's really too good to be true in my opinion. Obviously this is a new, bigger game, so all the animations have been refined, and there are also new animations too. There's also more gadgets for both Peter and Miles to use. New web.
They've also been heavily advanced too, so that would mean that they would be a lot more crazier to use.
Have
and stuff.
also been added. Bosses are more strategy based rather than pattern based. Every time.
Oh, thank God.
Each boss, they will switch up their ways, and there's something special you will need to do to get hits on them again. That's all I'd like to say. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them, so ask away. And again, this comes from gamestoday.info, and I'll leave a link to this article down in the description box below so you can go ahead and read it for yourself. But definitely there's a lot of like insider stuff, and it's really, really detailed. Now again, take this with a huge grain of salt. Like I said before, one of you guys are going to comment, I don't know, I guess he wants us to take this with a huge grain of salt, and that's okay. Make fun of me if you want. I don't care, because remember, this is not exactly official. If it ain't on PlayStation,
Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is going to be crazy.
That's pretty much everything I wanted to cover. It's nothing too new that I haven't.
Marvel Spider-Man 2 is Day 1 Cop. Obviously it's going to be a Day 1 Cop.
2 theory videos talking about how you're not going to be able to probably switch between each character, like Miles and Peter, for example.
I would love to see. I would love to see that, honestly, though.
Most likely a black suit in the game, because if Venom is in the game, then what's a Spider-Man game without the black suit if Venom is in the game?
Exactly.
Of course, there's going to be huge improvements on the swinging mechanics, the combat, the wall.
I would love to see, and also on top of that, I would love to see. Obviously, at some point, Peter and Miles are going to have to fight, right? What if Peter, obviously, he's going to have on the black suit if that does end up happening. So whenever he has the black suit on, I feel like that's going to end up happening because the fact that since he is going to have that on, what are the odds that, keep in mind, during this whole entire time, Peter does not know what its weaknesses are. He knows, I'm going to tell you guys right now, one of his weaknesses is electricity. But it depends on which Venom we're talking about here. Like if we're gonna introduce Flash Thompson, that Flash Agent Venom, no weaknesses. There's only like 2 or 3 weaknesses for Agent Venom. But when it comes to Peter's Venom, they're probably gonna end up using Miles' bioelectricity to get the symbiote off, or they're probably gonna have to end up he's probably gonna have to end up. And what I'm guessing is that they're probably gonna have to end up using sound just to get it off the first time, and that could work. But if it's Peter versus Miles, Peter's on the black suit, Miles is gonna have a hard time to fight that, and the only way that he can counter that is with bioelectricity.
Mechanic, everything's going to be improved upon. I am definitely confident in including that map, and this game is going to be
or his Venom Blast
in a much bigger game than we've ever seen that Insomniac Games has delivered to us. So anyways, guys, that's pretty much all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the bell notifications so y'all don't miss anything. And I want you to post your best theories and comments down in the comment section below, and let me know what are your thoughts about all of this insider information that we got from this person, this anonymous source in this case. Let me know, do you believe it? Do you think all of this is going to transpire in the game? If you don't, let me know as well. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next comic panel.
I still love this part, bro. One thing you can tell, look at Peter's suit. I forgot to tell you guys, if you guys haven't looked at Peter's suit, look at the suit.
Let me know as well. As always, thanks for watching.
Like, look at his suit. Look at his suit. Notice how it's a lot more... Notice how the spider is a lot more wider, and notice how the sleeves are a lot more slimmer, and like the spider is like right there, like it's like right here, all the way down. What I'm guessing is that he probably took some advice from Doc Ock, and with those mechanical arms, he probably put them in.
Will one of you finally give me what I desire? Yes, we will.
That is still a cool ass shot. That's still a cool ass shot. We're gonna check out some more New Suicide though. Let's see. So that's what they were some madness. I would love to. I'm gonna check this out. Let's check this out. I understand that so many people want Miles to get a black suit, but it would just be weird. Yeah. Hey. I don't know why, but for some reason, news, listen. When we editors, they are fire.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to News with Science, where we discuss comics, movies, games, and more, and to another amazing Marvel Spider-Man 2 video. My name is Ronnie, and today I want to talk about whether or not Miles Morales will be donning the symbiote suit in Marvel Spider-Man 2. I know a lot of you might be thinking the answer is quite obvious and simple, really. And
it would probably end up being no, because it's a Peter story.
Time to discuss my reasoning behind it. First, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the bell notification so y'all don't miss anything. I post videos on a daily basis, mostly about Marvel Spider-Man 2, so if those kinds of videos are for you, then definitely subscribe. We just hit over 9,000 subscribers recently. Also, if you'd like to help the channel even more, you can now super thanks on my videos.
That's the thing, Chad, is I didn't say Peter story, so that would probably be a no, since it's a Peter story.
You'd like to tip. Completely optional, of course. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. The links to those are in the description box below, along with the info.
Welcome back, how's it going? We missed you. I know you guys missed me, bro.
Let's get into the topic. Now, this video isn't going to be too long, only because when it comes to symbiote suits, I can argue that there aren't really well notable storylines involving Miles Morales donning the symbiote costume.
Yeah.
I say symbiote suit when talking about Miles Morales.
Because Miles never got the symbiote suit. There was no time where he got it.
Well, because Miles' suit is already black. So, to distinguish between which Spider-Man I'm talking about, I'm going to use the term symbiote suit when referencing Miles Morales. When we think about Spider-Man donning the black suit,
we think Peter Parker.
Think about Peter Parker wearing the black suit. It's one of the most popular storylines of all time, and one of the most recommended storylines of all time for Amazing Spider-Man novice readers. Yeah, I am aware that Miles Morales has worn a variety of symbiote suits, but none of them really stick out or are as memorable as the black suit storylines involving Peter Parker's Spider-Man. So, if the storylines involving Miles Morales donning a symbiote suit aren't as popular, then what's the point of making this video? Well, in short, storylines involving Peter Parker wearing the black suit have already been done to death. I think...
And on top of that, to mention... I forgot something else is for the fact that there is a way that Miles does get the symbiote, but that is in another. There's another Miles on another Earth where he does get the symbiote suit. This one is probably the one that is gonna be in Miles. I mean, the one that's going to be in Spider-Man 2 is the Venom symbiote. There is a universe where he does get the symbiote, but that universe is not known.
I think a game where Miles Morales acquires the symbiote suit gets adapted will be a breath of fresh air. Now, do I believe that we will be seeing Miles Morales sport the alien costume anytime soon?
No.
In short, it's most likely a resounding no, only because that would be a plotline within itself that needs time to develop. A Miles Morales symbiote suit storyline can probably sideline Peter Parker, but then again, it presents opportunities to bring a compelling, strong story into the fold. Think about it this way. Perhaps Miles Morales can have a go at the symbiote suit. We're talking maybe a little more than halfway into the Marvel Spider-Man 2 narrative, including Peter already having dealt with a black suit and the pain it caused him and his loved ones. I'm pretty sure that Peter Parker would already have learned his lesson, and he would be reminded that he has a responsibility to save and protect those around him. This would further the plot of Peter's journey to protect the city he loves. He would feel burdened. He would feel the need to save Miles Morales because Miles has proven to Peter that he's more than a capable hero, capable of fighting anything that comes his way, including biogenetically engineered organisms that latches on to people. The symbiote latching onto Miles can serve as a strong subplot, and it's possible that it would only strengthen Peter's story. Honestly, I don't believe we'll be seeing a plot point involving Miles donning the symbiote suit anytime soon, only because he would bear witness to what it's capable of doing to people, specifically Peter Parker. I can only imagine the conflict Miles is going to experience once he attempts to get the suit off of Peter. And I'm only assuming something like that is going to transpire. It makes sense.
And on top of that, not to mention, if Miles and Peter have to fight, Peter's probably going to get hurt because his bioelectricity is way too strong. So it's probably going to end up hurting Peter in the process while the symbiote's freaking out and trying to get off. Pause.
A game involving two protagonists who use the same superhero name. One goes dark while the other still has his head on its shoulders. The rest is left to the imagination. This is something I've been really thinking about lately. Even previous Spider-Man video games have touched on the black suit storyline after the comics have done it over 1 million times by now. I think Insomniac Games can break those conventions and give us something entirely new. Could you imagine what Insomniac Games would fabricate for Miles if he were to wear a variant of the symbiote costume? This would change the game for Miles forever. I'm sure there will be spin-off comics involving Miles' new symbiote costume, and I can only imagine what that would look like. Anyways, I really wanted to talk about it. I know it's not a long video, but it's definitely worth discussing. So, you let me know.
Miles in the symbiote suit, boy!
Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the bell notification so you all don't miss anything. And
whoever said that, they are not thinking correctly. Whoever said that, they were not thinking correctly. I appreciate it though, like that got me thinking, but no. That's what I like to close the player. Okay. What kind of character will Venom be? And I want to check this out, but I also do want to check out. Nah, we don't want to check out the stream of Woody and Evan. Wait, hold up. No, that would mean. We already looked at details and refinements. We didn't check this one out. This is one I've been wanting to check out, so.
Why don't we introduce you to our better half? We call ourselves
Venom.
The Venom Marathon continues on the biggest TV in New York. We're shouting out to the whole big rotten apple here, people.
Here it is, the records room.
Surf the web, surf the web.
Shut up, Brock, we don't have time.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to News with Sonic, where we discuss comics, movies, games, and more, into another amazing Marvel Spider-Man 2 video. My name is Ronnie, and today I want to talk to you all about the character trait we're expecting to see in Venom in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Before we continue on, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the bell notification so you all don't miss anything. I post videos regularly, and I live stream sometimes on Sundays from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're liking the channel and the content, you can now super thanks my videos by clicking on the little heart icon with the $sign in it. That way you can leave a tip. It definitely supports the channel, and it's completely optional. Everyone that super thanks the channel will definitely be getting a shout out on my next videos, so don't worry, your super thanks won't go unnoticed. Follow me on social media as well. The links to those are in the description box below. So here on the channel, I've made dozens of Marvel Spider-Man 2 theory videos. I've talked about the top suits I want to see, cameos, rematches with villains, how the black suit will affect Peter Parker, and more. This time I want to focus on the villain Venom. As you all most likely know, there have been several versions of the Venom character in different types of mediums at this point. Specifically, this Venom, from what we saw in the Marvel Spider-Man 2 teaser trailer, audibly it sounds a lot like the animated series Venom from Spider-Man, the animated series from the 90s. I'm sure that was intentional.
Oh, it's Tony Todd, by the way.
TAS fans, such as myself, are going to have a field day with that one. Which brings me to the main topic of this video. What kind of character will Venom be? He's obviously going to start off as a villain if it wasn't obvious enough, but as to how far he will go into villainy...
My question is, how's it going to be with Harry in the suit, though?
Any Spider-Man comic featuring...
Like, we've heard Harry talk, but what's it going to be like when
there's a bit of humor in those
Harry's going to come out of the suit? That's literally going to be my main concern is...
a lot of humor in their comics, but what about Venom?
Oh, wait, hold up.
All of the time.
Yeah.
Will he start to develop some sort of sense of humor further into the narrative of Marvel Spider-Man 2?
Especially when Harry is in control of it too.
See in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Vice President and Creative Director of Marvel Games, Bill Roseman, said the game will be darker, but just how intense might Marvel Spider-Man 2 get? If the first Spider-Man game was Star Wars, Spider-Man 2 is kind of our Empire Strikes Back, said during the This Week in Marvel...
I was gonna say, imagine if Venom starts eating people, like in the Venom games. Like, what if? Well, not in the Venom games, but in the movies. What if he starts eating people, or subsequently starts, liking Harry more, and after he figures out that, oh gosh, now we got an enemy for real. Peter Parker is That's going to be a whole entire other breakdown itself.
Focuses on everything Marvel and Spider-Man. I also have questions. Honestly, no one really wants a brooding and depressing Spider-Man game. When you think of Spider-Man, you think of a bit of comedy, action, warm-hearted moments, and of course, adventure. It's a pretty fun time overall. So much can easily be misconstrued from Bill Roseman's comments about the game, yet some people can take it quite literally. Just like every comic book character before, Venom has had many different interpretations depending on the writer and artist at the time his comics were published. Honestly, in my theory, I think Venom will be dark in tone for the majority of the narrative, but maybe towards the end, he'll begin to develop a bit of humor. Based on what we've seen from the teaser trailer of Marvel Spider-Man 2, a full-out comedy tone emanating from Venom just doesn't fit this version of the character. I do hope that once we've beaten the game and Venom is hopefully still alive, he will move on to his own adventures as the Lethal Protector. That remains to be seen still. I want to know what are your thoughts about how Venom's character will be adapted in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Should he be serious for the majority of the story, or should he have a bit of humor in him throughout the story? The floor is yours, people.
I would say probably a little bit of humor, because I've grown to like Tom Hardy's Venom.
Out of the Venom character, at least this interpretation from the game. I know that a lot of people tend to go for the dark, brooding stories, and that seems to be
as much as I do love it,
nowadays, and it has been for like over the past decade. Thank you to the Dark Knight movies. But I'm just saying, you know, not everything has to be very dark, and I think if you balance humor and dark tone really well, you can definitely get an amazing product out of this. No pun intended. But anyways, I'm just curious to know what are your thoughts. Thank you all so much for watching once again. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the bell notification so y'all don't miss anything. And I will see you all in the next comic panel.
Like, the thing is, as much as I do love the idea of having a dark story, it is insanely interesting to, because like the thing is, you guys gotta keep in mind, if they are doing what I think they're doing, which is they're obviously doing Kraven's Last Hunt. What if, and this is my idea, but what if the scene comes out and we just get a shot of Kraven, like no face? We just hear, you know, like the scene opens up with him taking out a lion or something, right? And after that, you have his girlfriend Calypso come up, and after that, he goes to New York and says, "Oh, Spider-Man's in here." Yes, the Spider-Man. And after that, he goes to New York to try and find Spider-Man. Little does he know that there's two Spider-Men. And on top of that, I don't know if you guys knew this, but if anybody's gonna know this, I don't know. Probably, I'm gonna guess is that Miles has seen Kraven the Hunter's show, and it's probably gonna be like his first time, like actually like being hunted. Because the thing is, according to everything that Kraven says, Spider-Man is literally like, you know, his new challenge, like his ultimate prey is fighting Spider-Man. He's gonna have two Spider-Men to fight. He's gonna have both Peter and Miles, right? So say like during the fight with Kraven or whatever, Kraven shoots him with, you know, with a hallucinogenic dart, and so I'm gonna say, because like I've seen, because I think that if you guys haven't seen the cartoon of Marvel Spider-Man Disney XD, please don't watch it. Please do not watch. I don't like that at all, but I'm just using this as a prime example. But there's a scene where Peter and Miles are fighting Kraven, right? What if down the line, like during that fight, Miles gets shot with a hallucinogenic dart, and he starts going crazy, starts getting scared and stuff like that, and Peter has to fight and all of that, right? So during that fight, keep in mind, he's gonna have on the black suit, so I'm guessing he's probably gonna have on the black suit. What if he just knocks Kraven out? Like personally for me, with this black suit, like knowing me and knowing how much I like the black suit is literally so iconic to the point where it's crazy. Like it's pretty much just like a fan favorite. What if while it's on Peter and while you're playing as Peter, you're forced to make the choice of killing Kraven or, you know, just injuring him badly to the point where he could kill him? I would love to see Peter do something like that, especially with the black suit. Since it takes over his since you know it takes over like his dark impulses. I would love to see that. Top 5 villains deserve a rematch. I'm tempted to see this. Or this one right here. When do the events of Marvel Spider-Man 2 take place? I would love to see this one because this one is interesting to me. But we're going to watch it in the next stream. Since I feel like that one's literally probably the most interesting. We got Tony Todd. Do we? Nah, I want to be surprised for his Venom. I want to be surprised for Tony Todd's Venom. Did I see this already? I think I already saw this before. I'm not sure. I'm not sure because I don't remember. Reportedly leaked. Okay, yeah, no, we haven't seen it. This one says reportedly leaked.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to News to Astonish, where we discuss comics, movies, games, and more. And tonight I want to talk to you about these supposed details that were leaked of Marvel Spider-Man 2. That's right. We finally got some new information, and I'm using these quotation signs because this leak is coming from 4chan. Now, I am fully aware about 4chan's reputations when it comes to the leaks. None of this information can be completely substantiated at this time, so take everything I'm about to do.
Yo, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe if you're new.
Although for the most part it may be fake information, we're still going to talk about it because, come on, my channel is a Marvel Spider-Man 2 channel. It's a Spider-Man channel. I'm going to talk about anything related to Spider-Man, whether if it's real or not, or if it can't be substantiated. So don't give me none of that, oh, this is fake. I am aware of the situation. I know about 4chan's reputation when it comes to, you know, putting out information out there, and I know that it cannot always be substantiated. So I just want to get that out there. You guys, don't worry. I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to fall for this kind of stuff. So take everything I'm about to discuss with a huge grain of salt. And before I move on to the article and then discuss about it, I want you all to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the bell notifications so y'all don't miss anything. Post videos on a daily. Live stream on Sundays from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Still working on that, actually. I actually haven't decided if I'm going to continue to do it on Sundays. And join my Discord. Invitation link to that is in the description box below. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, which you can also find down in the description box below. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the article. Now, this is coming from glitch.online, and this actually originally came from Twitter. While I was there, I actually retweeted and liked a certain tweet by somebody who posted this. You also, in other news, if you haven't heard, John Watts is no longer directing the Fantastic Four movie, which is something I'll talk about later on. But this is,
I mean, he was working the Spider-Man movies. I kind of expected that.
This came from a hunter at Next Gen Player. Spider-Man 2 on PS5 will reportedly have 3 different playable characters: Peter Parker, Miles Morales, and either Venom or the symbiotic version of Peter. Now, this is quite the...
That wouldn't be... Wait, pause. That would not be 3. Because the symbiotic version of Peter, that's... That would mean that he's technically just one. That would mean that he's technically already has the black suit on. So that would be technically just 3, technically. Because the symbiotic version of Peter does not count. That would be 3.
Peter Parker and Miles Morales could be playable. But as far as the rest of the details, it even talks about Venom possibly being playable. So let's go ahead and go to the article here from glitch.online. Marvel Spider-Man 2 details have seemingly leaked online. So some details from Marvel Spider-Man 2 from developer Insomniac Games have seemingly leaked. The anticipated PS5 game is expected to arrive in 2023 only, but it seems like some details have already managed to surface online, including how playing as both Miles Morales and Peter Parker will work in the game. The leak comes from a Reddit post covering an anonymous 4chan leak, of course it has to be anonymous, that detailed plenty of new information about Marvel Spider-Man 2. Since this is a leak from 4chan, we recommend taking it with a massive grain of salt.
Yeah.
I can't stress that enough, as false information has spread from the anonymous message boards before. The anonymous leaker first claimed that these details appeared on a leaked email with several Insomniac employees' names attached. They chose not to reveal those names, conveniently enough, but went on to detail
which is
what
smart.
they learned about the game. Basically, players won't be able to switch out between Miles and Peter in missions as certain.
Hold on. Now that I'm looking at this, right here it says the leak finally mentions that there will be a third playable character that cannot free roam. It cannot free roam. So it could probably be Venom. It could probably be Venom, but let's go ahead and continue. But we'll have a different playstyle to the Spider-Man that allows them to kill people using smoke projectiles and a type of organic article tentacles. The mention of tentacles has led some to believe that we might play as a symbiote Venom or a symbiote variant of Peter. The symbiote variant of Peter would be poison. It would probably end up being poison, is who the anonymous 4chan leaker is, who the anonymous leaker is talking about. That would probably end up being poison. So what I'm guessing is that since it says symbiote version of Peter, does that technically mean that we're going to have 2 stories? So say like we could play as Peter's for majority of his story, right? Finish the game on his story. Does that mean that once we beat the game, we can go unlock? Once we beat the game, we're gonna have New Game Plus unlocked with basically playing Miles through the playthrough, is what I'm guessing. Because the symbiote version of Peter is poison, but we don't know how Insomniac's gonna introduce poison into their universe.
The characters. Honestly, I think that's a given. Like, I've already mentioned this before in a few of my Marvel Spider-Man 2 theory videos, but I think you'll be able to switch between Peter and Miles if the story requires it, but not exactly at will. But perhaps after you beat the game, that feature would unlock where you'll be able to switch between either character as you please. Continuing on, they'll then be able to free roam with that hero in between missions for side content. This is similar to what was accomplished in Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart last year, as well as games like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot and Final
You were able to swap between them.
The leak finally mentions that there will be a third playable character that cannot free roam, but will have a different playstyle to the Spider-Man.
That's what got me interested. So the only person that I know that could possibly not free roam would probably be Wraith.
Artificial tentacles.
But the artificial tentacles make you think MJ though.
Has led some to believe that we might be able to play as a symbiote Venom or a symbiote variant of Peter. I don't know about killing, but I think maybe we'll be able to play as Venom, Harry Osborn, to get their point of view as far as the story goes.
Ooh. Me and Nushu Sancho are on the same page. I didn't think of that until now. I didn't think about that until now. News to astonished. I didn't think about that until now. I didn't think about that until now. Genius. 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 Genius.
Insomniac Games first
I didn't think about it until now.
Spider-Man 2 last year, confirming that we'll be able to play as both Peter Parker and Miles Morales. Fans initially assumed,
especially the especially the interactions that are gonna happen between Peter and Harry. That's gonna be crazy. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see Harry and Peter interact in this game. It's gonna be insane.
Each hero during the story, but if this leak is true, then we'll only be able to play with each insert.
For those who don't know, Harry is one of my favorite characters in Spider-Man.
Is currently in development exclusively for PS5. No kidding. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much all there is.
He's hands down like Harry is one of my favorite characters. It goes Peter. Then after that, it's a toss up between Gwen and MJ.
I am not gonna go ahead
and then Lizard.
You know, and pretend that this is all real and valid.
And then Jonah's up there. Jonah's always been up there.
Skepticism, and I can be quite skeptical at times. Provided that this is coming from 4chan, we all know about their reputation and how a lot of the information that they've provided to the internet users, it's basically, like for the most part, it has been false information. So again, and I can't stress this enough, take this with a massive grain of salt. Again, nonetheless, it's still very exciting to talk about Marvel Spider-Man 2. We here on News to Astonish love to hype up that game. We're all really excited for it. I know you guys who are watching this video are really excited and cannot wait any longer. I'm actually quite itching myself, ready to play the goddamn game. If I get to play at least 2 minutes of it, that would make me really happy, more than anything in the world right now.
Yeah.
But anyways,
it would make me happy too. You guys know that my spider sense is going crazy right now.
About the latest news, what are your thoughts about having the idea of having to be able to play as Venom in certain missions? Like, honestly, do you think this is true or not? Is it bullshit? You let me know. Comment down below. I love to read your thoughts and theories about the game, and of course, your thoughts about this 4chan leak, which conveniently enough, we cannot find out any information about who posted this leak or who shared this leak. And like, it's just ridiculous. It's way too easy. It's way too convenient. But anyways, that's all I got for you tonight, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like.
Do you think we're gonna get a Chameleon DLC? We could possibly get a Chameleon DLC. I think that we are.
In the next comic panel.
Do you think that we're gonna get a Chameleon DLC? It depends. With the Chameleon DLC, I'm thinking that it could work like this. At least like I'm thinking that it could. Because the thing is, Chameleon, I don't know, but this is like a massive spoiler. What if we get a mission where Chameleon is going around dressed up as Spider-Man, and he's like, say like he's robbing a whole bunch of places, like he's robbing like a whole bunch of places, you know, ruining Spider-Man's good name, right? And after that, he comes face to face with Spider-Man in the black suit, right? And he's all confused. To the point where Chameleon, to the point where Spider-Man and Chameleon, they're fighting, right? And Chameleon runs out into the city to use his abilities, right? To use his abilities to be anybody that he wants. So he has a whole entire city against him. While Chameleon is pretty much being everybody and anybody. That would be an amazing DLC because, oh my gosh, that would be the most difficult boss fight in the game. If it's like a main mission or a side mission, if it's a side mission, that would be the rawest side mission or one of the rawest main missions in the game too. Because, like, think about it. If it's a main mission, he doesn't know who to trust. Spider-Man doesn't know who to trust because he thinks now that Chameleon's somewhere out there in the crowd. He doesn't know who to trust or who to look at. Oh my! And if he transforms into Miles, bro, you have both Miles and Chameleon standing right next to him. Eric's gonna have to be like, who's who? That would hands down be like the most rawest thing ever. What else do we want to look at? Let's go back to News to Astonish real quick. I feel like there's more on. Already looked at details. Do you want to look at theories, chat? Top 5 Miles Morales suits we need. Let's check this out. There's a lot of suits that Miles has. Cause I know for a fact that we are gonna have the ability to transfer all our suits over because I don't want to go back and grind for those suits again. Grinding for those suits, and I can tell you guys right now, I'm gonna let you guys know right now, all of my Marvel Spider-Man streams, like Marvel Spider-Man 1 streams, I'm gonna let you guys know, I literally, as soon as I got off stream that night, I literally grinded for each and every one of those suits for those videos, and can I just tell you, it was a pain just to get at least 3 of those suits.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to News to Astonish, where we discuss comics, movies, games, and more. I'm bringing you another top 5 Spidey video. I haven't done one of these in a while. It's been about a month since I've done one at the time of me making this video. What inspired me to make this video was a fellow YouTuber, Ronnie Pugs, who made a video a couple days ago talking about the top 5 must-have Miles Morales suits from Marvel Spider-Man 2. So I want to thank Ronnie Pugs for allowing me to use his idea to make a video of my own. Definitely check out his video if you ever get a chance, and subscribe to him as well. Watch all of his videos. The guy makes great Spidey content. Also, on that note, be sure to like, comment.
You think they're at the Into the Spider-Verse suit? That's an automatic must.
I post videos on
once again, like any suit that is really good or like any movie is an automatic must. Like for example, they have to flat out add Andrew Garfield's suits, both of his suits. So any suit that's been in the movie or say in every single like last game, automatic add. So they're probably gonna add like a couple of new suits. Like I know that and this is like a potential if. I'm hoping, keyword hoping. I'm hoping that they add Superior Spider-Man suit to that, or we kind of like it with a Doc Ock DLC. That would be cool.
Reach 10,000 subscribers by December. I definitely want to finish the year with a banger, and you're the only ones who can help me. It really helps out the channel if you do subscribe and like the video, of course. Definitely helps the algorithm. Join my Discord. The invitation link is in the description box below, along with the links to my social media, which is Twitter and Instagram. Alright, that's enough shameless.
That'd be great because you have to unlock it by swapping brains with Peter swapping brains with Ock. It would be crazy.
These are my personal picks and my opinion. If you think we should see other suits in the game, sound off in the comment section below, but do so respectfully. Number 5, Demon Miles Morales. Demon Miles Morales seems a bit...
I don't know why, I feel like I've never seen the suit before. It looks like I've never seen the suit before.
At a glance, but I think with the PS5's hardware and Venom's appearance being confirmed, I think a demon variation of Miles Morales' costume is possible.
Yeah.
The Marvel Spider-Man 2 trailer gave me the impression that the game is going to be dark, so it'll only make sense to add that dark element to the game. Honestly, I'm not so familiar with this suit, but according to the main universe in Spider-Man comics, Miles Morales, Spider-Gwen, Silk, Spider-Woman, and Julia Carpenter all came under the influence of the demonic villain named Kindred. While under the influence of Kindred's power, Miles Morales tore up the streets of New York City.
This is one I never heard. I've never heard of Kindred's.
Looking like a demon. Can you even imagine if he can attack civilians? Number 4, Cosmic Miles Morales. I really hate myself for not including a cosmic suit in neither of my top 10 suits we need in Marvel Spider-Man 2 videos, and to a lot of you who commented about that suit, trust me, I read your comments and I made sure I wouldn't miss it. So, Peter Parker isn't the only Spider-Man to have been granted with some awesome cosmic powers of Captain Universe. Back in
okay, they got me confused for a second. I almost lost myself for a minute.
Miles Morales became the newest Captain Universe, making him OP and definitely making enemies being defeated with ease. So what's funny about that is that we've seen this suit before in much older Spider-Man games.
Yeah, we saw it in TASM 2.
2000. I'm surprised that we never even got this suit in either of Insomniac's games and Spider-Man games. And maybe Insomniac Games thinks that people may be able to...
Okay, so for that suit, we saw it in TASM 2, I think. Yeah, we did see it in TASM 2. Yeah, we saw it in the video game for TASM 2.
With ease if they were to wear this suit with its awesome powers. Who knows? I really do hope we get to use this suit in the sequel and take advantage of its abilities. Number 3, Miles Morales' Captain America variant suit. At this point, the Clone Saga reaches its conclusion in the comics.
I was about to say.
Marvel Comics released a variant cover of Miles Morales Spider-Man number 28, with Miles Morales on the cover in a Captain America costume variant of his Spider-Man suit. The artwork is done by Ivan Coelho. There's not much to say about this costume other than the fact that this costume only served its purpose as a variant cover. But wouldn't it be something else to see it in live action? Comment down below and let me know.
I heard that reference in their news to Astonish. I heard that reference, Astonish.
Captain America variant of Miles Morales' suit. I can only imagine how it'll look like in 4K glory. I'm pretty sure that suit would look badass. And as an added bonus, make it have a Captain America shield suit power. Number 2, Shadow Spider.
Ooh, I would love to see this one.
But he's a part of the Champions roster.
Yeah.
There is a story where the Champions were transported to a medieval fantasy style world where Miles was known as the Shadow Spider. It's basically Miles Morales sporting a very medieval style outfit variation of his costume. It just looks really badass. One that would look great in photo mode. I can imagine using the suit in stealth missions, look like a ninja, fight like one too. Also, if this suit becomes available, you gotta use the knives. I'm sure after pressing R1, instead of webs coming out, it's just a bunch of daggers coming out when wearing this suit. That'll be the main suit power. Not to mention,
that'll be a crazy suit power.
Flowy in the wind while web swinging. It'll look totally awesome, especially at night. And finally, at number 1, we have Carnage Miles Morales. I don't know
why. I just do not like this suit. I've seen this. I don't like this suit for some odd reason. I just do not like this suit. I don't know why. I just do not like this suit. I don't know why. I just do not like this suit. Because the thing is, for the fact that if you guys have seen Spider Carnage for Peter, I don't like it. Now, right here, with the black and the red, and the yellow right here in the eyes, like it loops around, I can see that happening, but I don't know. I just do not like having Carnage on a suit.
Requested one, and I'm pretty sure people want to really see this suit, knowing that the sequel is going to be very symbiote-centric. So in Donny Cates' famous Absolute Carnage, Miles Morales finds himself possessed by the Carnage symbiote suit. It did give Miles an interesting but really weird design, but I can definitely see the suit making its appearance and an available costume to use in the sequel since we're getting Venom after all. Since Marvel Spider-Man 2 will be very symbiote-focused, including this Carnage suit for Miles Morales would be an amazing idea, since there may be a possibility that we might be seeing Carnage in a post-credit scene of Marvel Spider-Man 2. I'm thinking way too.
They're gonna have to.
No, but just imagine.
They're gonna have to introduce Cletus then.
Stand out from the other suits. And
the thing is, chat, the story is already meant to be dark, so it makes sense. So that would mean they would have to add Carnage. Let me think. They would have to add Carnage. If the story just started, they would have to add Carnage because we already have introduction to Morbius already. So they would have. Who else is in there? Who else is in there after? There's a whole bunch of people that are locked in there. I don't know.
There's a possibility that this suit may possess symbiote abilities, which is something I really want to see if we're going to be getting Spider-Man symbiote suits in the sequel. But you guys let me know what are your thoughts about that suit making its way to Marvel Spider-Man 2. And that's it for my top 5 Miles Morales suits we need in Marvel's Spider-Man 2. What are your thoughts about the suits I picked? Didn't see a suit you'd like to see in the sequel make it to my list? Comment down below which top 5 suits you'd like to see Miles Morales wear in Marvel Spider-Man 2. For more videos like this, check out my top 5s and 10s playlist on my channel. I'll leave an annotation of that playlist at the end of this video so you can check it out and see for yourself. If you want to stay up to date and continue to watch more videos like this, you can like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date with my latest videos. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next comic panel.
Like, as much as I really do want to see that, it's crazy though. I can't wait. I can't wait until this game comes out. Now, there is one thing that I actually do want to check out since... Oh my gosh! The one video... Should we? Honestly, let's do it. Let's do it. We'll make this the last one. We're gonna have to make this one the last one.
Welcome.
We're gonna have to make this the last one because this one already piqued my interest.
And to another amazing Marvel Spider-Man 2 video. My name is Ronnie, and tonight we're going to talk about how the black suit can affect Peter Parker in Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Right.
First off, I would like to acknowledge and thank Brian Wilcox for his idea he commented on one of my earlier Marvel Spider-Man 2 videos. Brian Wilcox asks, could you maybe do a video of how the black suit could change Peter and maybe he would swing in a different animation?
Yeah.
That's a great question, Brian, and a great idea for a video as well. Before we continue on with the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the
Wait, I've only been a fan of Spider-Man ever since I was 5.
Mostly Marvel
At the most, probably 5. At the most, probably 4.
If those kinds of videos are for you, then definitely hit that subscribe button at the very least. I'm only one subscriber away from 9,000 subs. Come on, let's reach over 9,000. It definitely helps the channel. Follow me on social media, such as my Twitter and Instagram. Links to those are in the description box below, along with the invitation link to my Discord. I definitely want to see you there engaging with the astonished audience. Join us and bring pizza because every day is pizza time on my Discord. Without further ado, let's get into this. The Black Suit, one of the most overdone and most popular stories in Marvel history.
Yup.
You've seen it. You've seen it in the comics, the animated series, the games, and even the movies. Your parents most likely know the story. Hell, even your grandparents know the origins of the Black Suit. Just look at that old fart. His face says it all, just exuding confidence. Well, what if I were to tell you we will see it again? What if we were to see the return of Bully McGuire? Hell, what if it to be Carnage?
The Bully Lorenthal.
Join your favorite YouTube creators to explore the non-fungible planet we call home. And the non-profits YouTube
Yuri Lorenthal's Peter is about to make everybody do the Bully Lorenthal meme, the Bully Lomenthal meme. Yep.
Challenge for all of you. Go to every computer in your house, your mom's, your
Mr. Beast, you're a W, but not now, bro. Hey!
Alright, on a serious note, I think Insomniac games are going to the Black Suit storyline with proper care. Maybe a little reference or Easter egg of the Bully Maguire meme everyone desperately wants.
The Bully Lowenthal.
Probably pop up. Sadly, I don't think we will see Bully Maguire in this game. So, we all know what effects the Black Suit has on Parker, and the general agreement is that the Black Suit tends to give Peter more violent tendencies, aggressive behavior, a boost in confidence, being quite the loner, and overall mistreating his friends and loved ones, which leads me to believe that at some point, Peter will eventually hit a low point in the game where he briefly becomes an antagonist, and it's up to Miles Morales to stop him.
Right.
So, how does this affect Peter and everyone around him?
That would mean that Miles will have to use his bioelectricity, say like in a fight.
Because I sort of covered that already in previous videos. No doubt he will be faster and stronger. We can start with J. Jonah Jameson. JJ gets word that Spider-Man has been acting strange lately, confirming Jameson's theories, or so he thinks, because he's always coming up with theories about Spider-Man and talking about how...
And on top of that, to mention, if he's going to be returning to that job, imagine, there has to be a scene, chat. There has to be a scene where we get introduced to Betty Brant. There has to be a scene where we get introduced to Betty Brant. There has to be a scene where you introduce to Betty Brant, but then again, Peter and MJ are together in this game. So all the looks it's probably going to be giving are probably going to be insanely crazy. And this is what I'm going to say, what if there's a chance that if Peter goes back to working at the Daily Bugle, and he goes up, you guys know that scene from Spider-Man 3, where Jameson walks up to Peter while he's wearing the black suit, or keep in mind the black suit literally does that. The black suit literally makes everything, and he sees the photos of a black suit Spider-Man, and we introduce to Robertson, and Robertson says, "We gotta have this, Jonah," and Peter says, "I'll pay you $50 or something." He said he'll pay you like X amount. He'll pay you a lot of money for it, and Peter says, "If you want the pics, I'll take this. If you want the pics, I'll take the staff job." Double the money. That would be the greatest. Oh my gosh, that would be oh my gosh, if they add that scene, I am going to go crazy. I'm going to be going, oh my god, oh my gosh, they added it's Insomniac. If you're watching, if you guys add that, oh my gosh, the amount of memories oh my gosh, bruh.
Oh, he's a menace to society. Jameson can totally use this plot to boost listener counts on his podcast. He may even write a new book called I Was Right About Spider-Man All Along, or something along the lines. Overall, I'm sure Jameson's reaction to the new Spider-Man is going to be hilarious, and I'm certain while Peter donning the black suit and constantly hearing Jameson bad-mouthing him, it may cause Spider-Man to react and even go after Jameson.
Right.
Who knows, but I definitely want to see that unfold. Which leads to the people.
Another thing that could happen on top of that is I don't know if you guys have seen Spider-Man, but what if he starts with the black suit affecting Peter? What if, since the black suit is now bonded to him for that amount of time, it starts to refer to Peter as we instead of I? We are Venom. We instead of I. Peter's gonna wear it so long to the point where he's gonna start thinking that it's we instead of I. That's going to be an interesting thing that he's going to say. That's going to be interesting.
Of New York City. I'm sure Jameson's outlandish conspiracies of Spider-Man will hit the streets of New York at some point. People will notice that Spider-Man has been acting strange lately, causing the people of New York to ostracize him. Without a doubt, people will boo him off the streets, maybe even attack Spider-Man if they see him in the streets, causing to get a bad reaction out of Spider-Man, no doubt. Next thing you know, Spider-Man is attacking citizens, which I'm sure to Jameson, it'll be like hitting the lottery. Could you imagine Spider-Man picking fights with random citizens on the streets because they don't agree with his newfound brutal methods? Something to think about. Up next is Mary Jane. MJ is Peter Parker's girlfriend once again. You know, I think this may end up being a learning experience for both Peter and MJ once the black suit situation is resolved. While I do believe Peter donning the black suit will affect the relationship to an extent, it won't necessarily end it. MJ, at least this version of the character, is really intuitive. She may be able to figure out what's going on without jumping the gun and calling the relationship off. Mary Jane simply cares way too much about Peter Parker that she's simply not going to let Peter go and possibly hurt himself. No matter what happens, she's always going to be by Peter's side. And then there's Miles Morales. the one and true believer of Spider-Man, the one who's learned from the OG, the best there is. Could you only imagine how heartbreaking it will probably be if Miles Morales caught Peter acting irrational and using brutal methods to get his way? The way I see it, Miles Morales could be the only one to get through Peter's head. Miles could simply remind Peter of the oath he took before he went flying solo. He could be the one to remind Peter that with great power, there must also come great responsibility.
What's this? Christmas present. But first, you gotta take the oath.
Oh. Okay.
I promise to do everything in my power to protect this city.
I promise.
That's it?
That oath a real thing?
Totally. Definitely didn't just make it up. See you in a few weeks, Spider-Man. New York's only Spider-Man.
I think Miles is the answer to Peter's freedom.
Wait, hold up. I just thought of something just now. Imagine if you keep the suit on way too long. Look at his logo. Like, look at the way, look at the way that the dirt is on his logo right here. Say, like, if you're wearing the symbiote, right? So the symbiote can pretty much pretty much make it seem like nothing happened and brand new. What if we keep it on for like a period of time to the point where the spider starts to become bigger, like it starts to like go around like the body, and the spider starts to go around like the backside where the back spider is, and it just stays long right here, and it just ends up going all the way to the back, leaving these two legs right here. Like the more you wear it, the more the spider progressed.
New York's only Spider-Man.
Like Infamous Second Son type of thing? Yeah.
Miles is the answer to Peter's freedom.
Or you have like the eagles and stuff on the back, where you have like the birds and stuff on the back, where you have the antagonistic bird and stuff. Yeah.
Two Spider-Men to really get to the bottom of this. One of the best aspects of a great Spider-Man story are the strong supporting characters in them. At its core, Spider-Man isn't Spider-Man without his loved ones. He needs the support, care, and love to get through these trials and tribulations. I guess that's what makes Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Everyone needs help sometimes, even Spider-Man. Thank you all so much for watching.
Now, another way that Peter could get the black suit is, say like, you know, he's in his, say like he's in his apartment or Aunt May's house or whatever, he's trying to sleep, right? And we oh, you're talking about the Tobey Maguire? Yeah, we get the Tobey Maguire reference where, you know, everybody has died to this point and he's just mad and everybody's blaming him or something like that. And he gets the black suit through there. Following that, we end up going and cutting to Harry, who already has a symbiote, as you already know, but the symbiote gets off and it goes to Peter. And after that, it finds its way over to Eddie Brock or something like that, right? And keep in mind, like, what if we get introduced to Eddie Brock probably like mid-game, probably like fighting someone, and we end up just insulting him or whatever, and we end up doing him wrong? What are the odds that the symbiote ends up going to Eddie right after Peter takes it off? So not only that, but now we have the symbiote on Eddie, and the symbiote's mind warping Eddie into thinking that Peter is his enemy and Spider-Man is also his enemy. Put two together, you got Venom.
Be sure to like.
But in this case, they are doing the Harry Osborn Venom, so that would really mean that there would be a difference in that. So.
Will one of you finally
give me what I desire?
We will.
Sorry, I love that intro. I love that so much. But yeah, chat, other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and end the live stream right now, and obviously I'll see you guys tomorrow with some more happiness and some more vibes. We are gonna be discussing a lot tomorrow when it comes to Marvel Spider-Man. Also, if you guys haven't reached, you guys go ahead and check out the latest video. Check out my check out this video right here. This video right here. This Batman Arkham Origins video right here. As you guys know, I've been playing a lot more Batman Arkham Origins over on Twitch. So make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe if you're new if subscribe if you're new. And also, go ahead and check out my Twitch, link down in the description below. Follow me on Instagram, link down in the description below. Everything else, link down in the description below, as well as on Twitter as well, for you to stay notified. And also, make sure you guys go ahead and click that bell to stay notified whenever I go live. And I'll see you guys later. Love you guys.